there, Mosaic Kipsters. How are you? I didn't see you there. I was so caught up in just watching the birds outside of my window. You see, Mr. Presley has always been pretty interested in birds, but since I've been spending a lot more time at home than normal, I've started actually thinking, what kind of birds live around my home? So I downloaded an app, and every time I see a bird, I get super excited, and I go online and I check out and see what kind of bird that is. Can I show you a cool bird I saw the other day? Check this out. I was looking out my window, and this beautiful bird just flew by the window and sat on the fence. Had this big, massive tail right there. So I looked it up, and I found out that this is a beautiful bird called a scissor-tail flycatcher. Take a look at that thing. Now, while watching and looking up birds, I've noticed that whenever I'm doing it, I start to get kind of a funny feeling. Not only do I feel happy, do I feel good, and I kind of want to keep learning more about birds, but it makes me smile, and it makes me feel really, really alive. There's a word for this feeling, and it's called joy. And I got a secret. Come close. You want to hear the secret? Joy is one of our school values. I know. And it's the topic of the book that we're going to read together this week. More on that in a second. Let's recap first what we talked about last week. Last week, we read this book, Windows by Julia Danos. And we talked about the value of curiosity. Now tell me, did you get a chance to take a walk around your neighborhood? Maybe ask some curious questions about things you wondered about? Maybe what was going on in other houses or something you saw on your walk? I sure hope you did. And don't forget, if you take a picture, if your adult you're with takes a picture of you doing that, you could go into a weekly drawing for a free pizza delivery. Pretty cool, huh? This week, we're reading a book called Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love. Now, I personally love this book for a couple of reasons. First of all, it has absolutely beautiful illustrations. Remember, we said last week that illustrations are the pictures. When I see them, I get really curious and I ask a lot of questions about them. I hope, and I'm going to need your help today, asking some curious questions about what's happening in the pictures of this book. Because you see, good readers not only study the words, but they also study the pictures to figure out what the author is trying to tell us. We're going to practice that today. So before we get to reading Julian is a Mermaid, let's talk a little bit more about the value of joy, that word I mentioned a couple minutes ago. Joy is that warm, happy feeling that I was talking about when maybe you're doing something you really enjoy, or you're hanging out with someone that you really love to be around. That feeling is joy. And at KIPP Mosaic Primary, we say that we bring joy. Now, these shiny little hands that I'm making right now, we do that when we say bring joy to remind us of the rays of the sun. That's why sometimes we'll say, send that person some shine, and we'll do like this. When I think about joy, I think about the sun. You know, the sun warms us up. It gives us light so that we can explore the world. It gives plants energy and food so that they can grow. It does a lot of really important things. And joy makes me think of the sun because even on cloudy days, when we don't see the sun, we can know that the sun is still there. It's behind some clouds, but it's still there. Just like joy, see, it's okay to not feel happy and great every day. Sometimes we have sad moments. Sometimes we have bad days. But we can still know that our joy is still inside of us, just like the sun behind the clouds. And even when bad things happen, things like the virus that currently is making us have to stay inside all the time and wash our hands and make sure that we stay safe and healthy and we don't get others sick, we know that even though that's happening, we still have our joy. When we're together again in our building at KIPP Mosaic Primary, we will try to bring joy every day in everything that we do. We'll say, as a team and family, we bring joy. Do it with me. As a team and family, we bring joy. Are you ready to meet Julian? I'm excited for you to meet him because he can teach us a lot about joy. Today, as we're reading, we're going to be thinking about two questions, and we'll come back to these at the end. What brings joy to Julian? And what is this book mostly about. Good readers, when they read, always are trying to figure out what a book is mostly about. What is the author trying to tell us? So you ready? Let's dive in. Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love. Dedicated, over here, for Nana. That means that this person wrote this book for their Nana. So I see our boy here, Julian, and here's his abuela, and they're leaving the pool. And I know this because on the next page, it shows Julian swimming in the pool while his abuela, it looks like she's doing some exercises with some other folks at their local pool. This is a boy named Julian. And this is his abuela. And those are some mermaids. Julian loves mermaids. Now, this is interesting. Here's Julian. He's sitting on the subway, on the bench on the subway, and he's riding. Looks like they're riding home. And Julian sees some mermaids. And I'm wondering to myself, now I know mermaids are not real. So are they actually in the subway? I don't know. Take a look at what Julian's reading. The author shows us that he's looking at a book with, you see that right there? That's a mermaid. The author is showing us that Julian loves mermaids. Wow, this is one of those pages that I was telling you about, where there aren't any words, but the pictures can tell us a lot about what Julian is thinking and what our story is mostly about. So let's watch. Here's Julian. He's reading. Looks like he's getting excited, and it looks like he imagined that the whole subway car is full of water. I see fish, and I see Julian. He's losing his clothes. His hair's even getting longer. Looks like Julian is changing. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful this is. It looks like now it's like a bright rainbow of colors. Point to a jellyfish. Yeah, right there. I see some there. Do you see an octopus? Point to it. Yeah, there's one right there. I see him right there. And look up here, a big old stingray. This reminds me of that movie Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, all these beautifully colored little sea creatures. And it looks like Julian's hair is now really long. Wow, he's got quite the imagination. Oh, look, Julian is, his hand is over his mouth. When people go, what does that usually mean they're feeling? Yeah, I agree. It usually means they're feeling surprised. Why might he be surprised? It looks like Julian is imagining that he now has a tail like a mermaid. He's happy, he's swimming around, and oh my goodness, this beautiful, huge, looks like a fish or maybe an eel is giving him something. What does that look like to you? I agree. I think it kind of looks like a necklace. Let's keep reading. Vámonos, mijo. This is our stop. Whoa, did you see what the author did there? We were inside Julian's imagination, him turning into a mermaid. He loves mermaids, and whoop, there we are, back in the subway with his grandmother saying, let's go. This is our stop. Here goes Julian, waving goodbye to his mermaid friends. Do you think they're real? Do you think they're in the subway car? I don't know. Abuela, did you see the mermaids? I saw them, mijo. Abuela, I am also a mermaid. Look at that face. I love the face of Abuela in this picture. Does your mom or maybe your own grandma or Abuela ever look at you like, really? I'm going to take a bath. You be good, Abuela says to Julian. He's got a little smile on his face. I wonder what Julian is thinking right now. Something's bringing him joy. Julian has a good idea. Now, let's do what good readers do. Just like we read from left to right, let's look at our pictures from left to right on the page and see what's happening. Oh, there goes Julian. His shoes are off. He's changing his clothes. And look over here. This plant is called a fern. Say that with me. Fern. Julian looks like he's taking pieces of the fern and putting them in his hair, taking all of these colorful things. Looks like he's even putting on some of his makeup from his abuela. What do you think Julian is trying to do? I don't know. Let's find out. Ooh, he's got another idea. He sees this flowing curtain. Let's look on this page. Julian is making himself, look, I see the little tail. He's tied here with a knot. I think Julian is trying to dress up like a mermaid. He loves mermaids so much that he wants to actually pretend that he's one. I bet that brings him joy. Here comes Abuela. She says, huh? Oh. Let's look at Julian's face now after Abuela says, whoa. He says, uh-oh. Why do you think he would say, uh-oh? I wonder if Julian is maybe a little nervous or worried. Maybe he's worried that Abuela will be mad that he took some of the ferns or used them for makeup or dressed up like a mermaid. I don't know. Let's find out. Looks like his hands are crossed, like he's kind of nervous. This picture looks like Julian's looking at his curtain and even looking at his face. Maybe I did something wrong. Brought so much joy. Abuela comes back. Let's see. Come here, mijo. Uh-oh. She said, come here. I'm worried. Are you nervous? I don't know. This author does a really good job of building what we call suspense, where you feel like, ooh, what's going to happen next? Look at that. For me, Abuela? For you, Julian. Abuela's giving Julian something. Do you see that? Point to what she's giving. I see it too. She's giving a necklace. Now, wait a second. Something happening in your mind too? I remember a part when Julian was on the subway train and he was imagining, wait, let's go back and read what we read before. Let's go back. Remember this part? Look at there, that fish is giving Julian a necklace, just like Abuela is doing in real life now. What a cool connection we just made. And wait a second, I'm noticing something else special about this fish. Look at the pattern. All right, you got that in your mind? Let's flip forward, back to the page with Abuela. Look at there. It's the same pattern. The author and illustrator used the same pattern. Way to go, Jessica Love. Really well done. This author did a great job making a cool connection. Now it looks like Julian and his grandmother are going somewhere. I wonder where they're going. He's dressed up. He's got his necklace. He looks like a full mermaid. Where are we going? You'll see, says Abuela. Mermaids, whispers Julian. Looks like they're joining a crowd. I wonder what's going on. All these people are dressed up like different sea animals. I see a fish. I see, looks like a jellyfish. And, ooh, there's that octopus again. Like you, mijo. Let's join them. Looks a little nervous, but it looks like Abuela's like, look, you enjoy dressing up like a mermaid. Let's go with this whole parade of people dressed like creatures from the ocean. And they do. Look at that smile on everyone's face. It looks like everyone is doing something in this picture that brings them joy. Wow. What a great book. Julian has a lot to teach us about joy. So let's go to our questions. What brings joy to Julian in this book? I think you're right. I think dressing up like mermaids, amusing his imagination and curiosity to think about the ocean and things that live in it really brought Julian a lot of joy. So let's think about our second question. What was this book mostly about? Whenever good readers think about what a book is mostly about, they should ask, which characters are in the book? What are some of the main things that happen? We're not looking for little details. We want to know what the book is mostly about. Well, I know this book is mostly about Julian. The title is Julian is a Mermaid, and he's on just about every single page of our book. So we know this book is mostly about Julian. But what about Julian? Well, we know that Julian loves and has so much joy when he gets to dress up like a mermaid and imagine that he is a mermaid swimming in the sea. That's what this book is mostly about. Great job, Kipsters. Awesome job thinking about what this book was mostly about. You ready for our challenge? All right. This week's Mosaic Read Aloud Challenge. I want you to do something that brings you joy. Riding your bike, reading a book, playing video games, playing with your sister, playing a game with your mom or dad, whatever it is. Have an adult take a picture of you doing something that brings you joy, something that gives you that nice warm feeling like, man, it is so good to be alive today. Have your family member share that picture on our Facebook page. It's Kip Mosaic on our Facebook page. You can also text me the picture at that phone number, or you email it to me at that email address. And don't forget, anyone who participates this week will go into a free drawing for a pizza delivery. So if you want some free pizza to come to your house, make sure you participate in the Read Aloud Challenge. I had so much fun with you this week. I can't wait to see you next week where we're going to talk about a new book and a new Mosaic value. Have a great week, Kipsters. I'll see you later. I'm going to go check out these birds. Bye.